Hi folks, welcome to Tuesday's Coffee with Jesus. We are at a very difficult passage, John chapter 8, where people are accused by Jesus of belonging to the devil. Let's read it and then let's just look at what it says. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. So you'll notice the murderer. Jesus has said, you're trying to kill me. They're denying it, but of course they are trying to kill him. And he's saying that this is a characteristic of the devil, the violence and the murder and so on. But what's really interesting in verse 44 is he doesn't say you do the works of the devil and, you could kind of appear on the day of judgment and say, I'm sorry, but it was the devil that made me do it. It wasn't me, it was the devil. But he says you do the works of the devil because you wanted to do the desires of the devil. Sin is not just simply making bad choices or mistakes. Sin is having the desire in our hearts to do the will of the enemy of God. I mean, Paul in Colossians talks about how that because of our minds we engage in evil behavior. So I read at a funeral this week, and it's a bit of an unusual passage to read at a funeral because I didn't want to talk about grace, but I also wanted this to get across. Ephesians 2, as for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world and of the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the spirit of who is now at work in those who are disobedient. All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our flesh and following its desires and thoughts. Like the rest, we were by nature deserving of wrath. And then he goes on, because of God's great mercy. But that's the point. The devil's a murderer. Through the devil, sin entered into the world, and through sin came death. Christ leads to life. The devil leads to death. The devil loves falsehood, the false word, the false thought, the twisting of the truth, misinformation, the great word of our time. The devil loves all of that. He loves a culture of death. Again, where we're heading as we turn away from God, we're becoming a culture of death. And a culture of lies, again, as we turn away from God. Why should anyone tell the truth? Falsehood always hates the truth and always tries to destroy the truth. And I think this teaching of Jesus destroys our culture almost more than anything. We're told that God has many faces and we can choose to believe in many different gods as well as Jesus. No. There's one truth, the truth of Christ. We should long for truth. We should want truth. And even if that means we have to face up to the fact that we belong to the devil until we come to Christ, well, so be it. Face up to uncomfortable things. All right, I shall love you and leave you and see you again tomorrow, God willing. Bye.